listening to Heaving Bosoms, the show where two bookish podcasters recap romance novels while marveling at interwoven commentary and feeling very seen.
Gonna love what we love, do it out loud. Stack our shelves with the clinches out. Shout it from the rooftop, can you hear the sound? Yeah. Live your best life, love it out loud. Love it out loud.
Hey HBs, you're back. We are delighted. So this week, we're covering the Scared Sexy series. We're recapping Kimberly Lemmings and Katee Roberts here on the HB Public feed. And then you get our thoughts on Ruby Dixon's novella over on the Too Stupid to Live podcast. Then, this Friday on Patreon and our Apple Podcast subscription, we're chatting about Ali Hazelwood's novella, Hot First Layer. It's really a smorgasbord, an embarrassment of riches. We've got some wonderful people who are part of our Patreon as well, and I get to shout them out. Welcome, and thanks for being the most beautiful and supportive pancakes, Divine Kitty Cat, Lindsay J, Jessica D, Mel P, Jules, and Geeky Gal. All right, today, Becky from the Too Stupid to Live podcast and I are recapping Beautiful Nightmare by Katee Roberts. Here we go. Hello. Becky's here.
Hi.
Hi, Becky from Too Stupid to Live.
Oh my God. Hello, Mel from Heaving Bosoms.
Ooh, it's a crossover extravaganza.
It's a crossover extravaganza. This book that we're going to recap, I had written down the note, I want this tattooed on my body. So it was my... I loved it so much.
Any specific line or just the whole text?
Where did I write it? Let me find it.
Well, and listener, this worked out perfectly.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because after Becky threw out the Scared Sexy series, she started with one of them is All My Boyfriends Are Monsters. And I was like, oh, great. Okay, cool. And then as we were figuring out which ones we wanted to do elsewhere, I sort of left it up to her because I do have two friends in the lineup. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it just worked out perfectly for me that she chose Kim and Katee's books.
It worked out. Oh, good. It worked out perfectly for me because I knew that this was coming, and I was like, I would love to have a chat with someone who will read most of them. But when I ask my friends to come on the show, I feel so bad asking them to read one book, and I'm like, can you read all five of these or all six of these? But it would be so much fun. And so then when you contacted, I was like, let's see.
Is it time?
Can she read all of them? Yes, it's happening. This is such a dream come true. And so, okay. So I wrote that part. I wrote down, I want this tattooed on my body was what I really loved about this book is kind of the sleep demon doesn't fit in. She realizes she's not like a bunch of other demons. And I think that was what was so affecting. And so she wrote it down when she said, I don't break the rules. I fail to follow them. Yeah. But that failure has always made me sick to my stomach with the knowledge that I'll never be good enough. And I'm like, this is my life.
Oh, no.
It was so good, though, because, I felt like it really was, a parable, I don't know, a metaphor for maybe, readers or women maybe who maybe felt overlooked with, kind of neurodivergence or whatever they were going through when they were growing up, and to only be, noticed now. And I was like, this is it.
I felt the exact same way. I was like, oh, this beautiful neurodivergent demon is having a really hard time, and it's been that way since day one. Ugh.
Yes, I was like, this is my ADHD diagnosis story, because I didn't get, you know what I mean? I didn't get diagnosed until I was 37, and so I was like, oh my God, this is whoa, wow.
Yeah, I was in my early 30s too, and it was all of a sudden it was I don't know, like a film came off the world or something, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And everything
and you're
made sense now.
Yeah, and you're like looking back at your life and you're like, well, what does this mean? I understand like now all this happened, like why we get in trouble or why like people would look at me weird or whatever. And now you're just like, well, now what do? I have freedom. Oh, okay, I'll just scare this man sexy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Gemma's a terrible demon. She's always been bad at being a demon. She always asked the wrong questions in demon school. You know, none of the other demons really wanted to hang out with her because she was the weirdo of everywhere. And now she's basically on her last chance to maintain any kind of presence in Demon Land. Because she's gone through a bunch of the different departments of the kind of demon you can be. And it was very clear she couldn't be a public-facing demon. So, like, lust wasn't going to work. She's too awkward to seduce anyone. She thinks, listener.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's done a bunch of the other ones, and she's like, okay, and now I'm a sleep paralysis demon. But I've been in training for 2 months more than any of the usual demons, and I just, like, this is my last chance. This is my last chance.
She's getting held back. She's just not making it work. And, like, and I really love like the interesting backstory of like I am probably jumping ahead, but like she was talking about one moment where she was like, wait, do we have to scare them? Like, what if we were just like friends with them? You know what I mean? And they're like, you're a demon. What are you talking about? You know? And so I'm like, I relate to this so much.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was one of the wrong questions she asked in school when she was younger. It's just like, why does it have to be fear or lust or whatever? Can't we just like, you know, be nice to them? Wouldn't it be a better world if everyone just focused on being nice to each other and they were all like, the fuck is your problem?
It's like, Jesus Christ. Like this was, and it was so great. I was like, yes.
Yeah. And one of the sort of unspoken components of this is that demons who don't fit in just sort of disappear. And nobody talks about where they go. Nobody knows why. It's taboo to ask about them. And so she's like, I'm pretty sure that if I don't get my shit together, like on this thing, I'm just going to get disappeared. And I don't know what that means. Like, it could be painful. I have no idea. So she enters this. So her mentor is there. And he's like this scary skeleton man. And he's like, Gemma, you got this. And she's like, I got this. It's going to be great. I've trained so much. It's going to be awesome. And goes into this guy's room. He's laying on his back with his arms spread wide open, which I loved.
Yeah.
She's like, he just looks so trusting, and I'm going to shit all over his night right now.
Yes.
That's literally what I'm here to do, is just ruin his perfect, wonderful sleep. Okay. So she uses her magic net to like make it so he can't move, and then she stomps her hoof really hard. Oh, because she's got bubblegum pink skin.
She looks awesome.
She's rad. She's really tall. She's got like silver, I think, horns and nails / claws and hooves. Yeah. And great stuff. It never talks about her having boobs, but she did have boobs in my head the whole time.
Oh, she did too. For some reason, I was like picturing like, did you ever watch, what's that show on Netflix? The Nick Kroll show where they're all the
oh yeah.
Big Mouth, that's it.
Yes,
I was
Big
picturing
Mouth.
Maya Rudolph's character in Big Mouth, but pink.
Yeah. Close to that. Exactly. Yeah, she had big bazoombas in my brain, and that is not described in the text.
No, it's not at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it would make more sense for her to be kind of androgynous. But that's not what populated in my mind.
No, I was picturing she was just like I was picturing like gorgeous, like perky tit. But the thing is that it didn't matter because it was about who she was. It's just her tits happened to be there, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. So she goes and she can hear that he's like woken up because she stomps her hoof. And she's like, okay, it's time. I've got to like reveal myself to him. And so she crawls onto the bed and sits down on his chest. And he like makes an kind of sound. But she can't figure out what the sound means because his eyes are doing weird things. And like, what does that look mean?
He doesn't seem scared. It just like he seems like in the paralysis kind of thing. But he does not seem like a real, like what happens when people really go through this, which is like pure fear.
I mean, terror. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not frightened. And she can't taste any fear either. One of my favorite through lines of this thing is which emotions are edible and which ones aren't.
Yes.
Made me so happy.
I love that. And like, yeah, and which one she preferred the taste of. Like that to me, I'm like, this is great. Yeah.
Yeah. And so she's like, I've got a lot of confusion, but I can't eat that. I got to figure out how to scare him. And he, meanwhile, is like looking at her really intently. And then she realizes, she like looks behind her because she feels something weird happening. She looks behind her and he has pitched the biggest tent.
Hilarious.
He's so turned on. And she's like, oh my God, this is the one thing that wasn't covered in the sleep paralysis manual. Like, what do you do when your human gets a boner?
Yes.
What the fuck? This never happens to Ralph.
Yes.
The successful sleep demon.
This is not in Monsters, Inc. Like,
No, exactly. Exactly. Oh my God. And so she's like, okay, I'm really gonna get serious with him now. So she takes her hand and she puts it on his throat and she squeezes a little bit and she's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then he's like, and she realizes that he comes all over himself.
she did it. She gave him a happy ending, a happy, scary ending.
And I don't remember, does she eat anything at all? It's like a little bit, right? Because
She
he's
does
scared.
eat. Yeah, because she's I think she's like fed for like 2 days afterwards, so she gets a meal. She definitely gets a meal. Yeah,
Sure. But it's like lust and fear, but the fear is gross. It like sticks to her throat and it just is really bitter. It tastes bad. She doesn't like it.
No, yeah.
But she did successfully eat. Okay, and that is really at the end of the day what we're looking for. And so he So then she lets him go as she's like backing towards the portal in his closet. And he's like, wait, I'm sorry. And she's like, oh. And now my human is apologizing to me as if this couldn't get more mortifying.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah. She's like, I can't even scare someone. I make them apologize. Like, I can't, like, what demon? It was
What's
great.
wrong
Again,
with me?
It was the type, it was just hilarious how much, like, I related to that thought process. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, she like ends up falling backwards into the portal because she's so discombobulated. And Ralph is like, "Ha! It seems like you ate. Did you feed?" And she's like, "Yep, I did, and it went fine. And there's nothing really else to talk about." She hates lying to him, but she sees how proud he is of her.
Yes.
And it's something that's so foreign to her that she like doesn't want to let it go.
Of course, and the stakes are so high for her, so she has to lie. You like understand immediately.
Oh God.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because to the letter of the law, she did do the thing he asked, and that was successful.
Yes, she did. And it like kind of like made me think, like at that point I was like, is lust and fear the same thing? Like, do you know what I mean? Like it kind of is like, obviously they're both edible to demons, and like what does that say about like human psychology and like what our bodies do when we're lustful and we're fearful? Is it the same thing? You know, like
yeah, like how is it productive? I guess, in a way that confusion or empathy is not. She's like, I can't eat empathy. He's being really sweet to me right now later on, but like that doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. I wish like a psychologist could like do a thesis on this book.
Yeah, honestly. So, okay. This time, she goes into his room. She's like really psyching herself out. And she doesn't get his net on him fast enough. And so he ends up like half sitting up. And then she freezes him. And she's like, oh my God. Well, I mean, he's immobilized. So like, that's mostly good. Okay. And she's like, she realizes that, again, there's no fear coming off of him. And so she's like, what is wrong with you? And then takes her magic away, like just from his face. And the first thing he says is, hi. She's like, I asked you a question.
So funny. Oh my God.
Yeah, it made me really happy. His name is Caleb. And he's like, yeah, I really think it's really scary. I think normal people would be super terrified. So she's basically telling him, like, I don't know what to do now. And he's like, well, if you have to scare me, then, like, how about I just go back to sleep And then, you wake me up at some point and scare me. We can just try again. We can just hit the reset button if you want.
At this point, he's being so helpful with like what she has to do. He's like, okay, you're a demon. You have to scare me. How can I help make this situation easier? And it's incredibly sexy.
It's so good. Caleb is such a dreamboat.
Yes, he is a good book boyfriend.
Yeah. And he's like red haired and he's got freckles and she's like into all of it. That was one of my favorite parts of it too, is that as you're reading it, it's very clear that all of her reactions are sexy ones. And then she's like, wait, no, whoa, no. I've got to redo the brain, recalibrate, and then I'm going to go back into this.
And it was like interesting because like they also kind of mentioned like she has no context for like what is sexy and what isn't sexy. She just like found him sexy and she's like, I don't know, I guess I like this, and it was just fun to like follow that journey,
Absolutely, yeah. I also really liked the overall commentary because she's like, why aren't you scared? And he's like, I mean, look, man, I'm scared all the time.
Yes.
The world's in fucking shambles right now. And I feel bad, but like you were naked on my chest. Yeah. And like, I don't think I had a wrong reaction.
Yeah, because there's this reveal that like what he does do is like, and I mean, he's a pediatrician and, he does deal with like kind of he does deal with like people's worst nightmares, you know what I mean, in reality. And so it's like this sleep demon, like this is nothing. Like this is just fodder. This is just fun. You know, and it's like, and she's like, I see that. Yeah, you really do. Like
it's super cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's like, yeah, I'll just go back to bed and you'll come scare me. And she's like, I have to go. And she's really demoralized. And Caleb, again, is like, whoa, please wait. I'm so sorry. I've obviously done something wrong. Like, I really want to help. I want to fix this. Let's figure it out. And so she's like, okay, fine. Close your eyes. And he's like, okay, like, fine.
Sounds good.
And she changes her form into Ralph's form. So she's like this super elongated, super creepy skeleton man with too many joints and like real weird stuff. So she crawls up on the bed and kneels over him again, essentially, because like, keep with what you know. And as she like leans in, she tells him to open his eyes. And when he does, he's like legitimately terrified.
Yes.
But she has to like choke that down, right? Because fear doesn't taste good to her.
She doesn't like the taste. And she's supposed to, And again, the metaphor is there, people. It's just perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's like getting an ADHD or autism diagnosis.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And then also with like, she uses her mentor's face. And in the demon world, like that's plagiarism. Like that is like a big no-no. But she does it, and again, like I'm like masking. This is masking right here.
It's masking. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and so she ends up like stumbling off him because she feels terrible about it. Not only does it taste bad, and she's trying to choke it down, she also just feels really bad, and she doesn't like scaring him. And again, like he's trying to get her back or whatever, but she just launches herself through the portal and falls through again. But Ralph is standing right there.
Yeah.
Not great.
No.
And so she like switches back and she's like, I'm really sorry. I panicked. I didn't know what to do. And her mentor has been so patient with her up until this point and continues to be really kind and patient. And so he's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to let this go. We're never going to do it again. We're not going to talk about it again. She's like, okay, fine. And he's like, and I can give you, tips and tricks on how to change your form. We can maybe workshop it a little bit. Yeah. And she's like, I don't think that's going to be necessary.
Yeah, it's clear that he like pities her, which is like, and also like kind of like, there's like a little bit of like, he's infantilizing her in a way because she's so different. And you can kind of like feel like the cringiness of it, even though he's helping. Yeah.
There's a condescension there that puts a tough spin on it for sure. Yeah. But it's clear that like he cares about her and he's trying to help, but it is like, oh, okay, I'm just like the kicked puppy. That's nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So now she has to go back and eat again. And it's not just that she's hungry. It's also that, like, she's pretty curious about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what a hot weirdo, you know?
Yes.
What a human that has no correct reactions to what she thought would happen.
Mhm. She is bawling. She is falling for him hard. And yeah. We all are. Yeah.
We all are. Caleb
We
is.
love Caleb.
I mean, this book, this little tiny short story novella is I feel like it's a great thing to give to somebody to be like, do you want to see a consent conversation? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to see what checking in looks like? Do you want to see
Yes.
what like the STD and reproductive health conversation? Like all of that is in here and it's all still very sexy.
Yes. And it's also like a really clever meet cute. Like, you know, if you just like, what's the most memorable meet cute you've ever read? I'm like, it's going to be the sleep demon one now, you know? Like,
yeah.
Because like, I think like parts of the book, like I love Katie Robert and I love the sex that she writes, but like some of the most engaging parts of the book were when they were just talking. Like they were just talking about like their lives. This is amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, I think part of that is also because of the infusion of her commentary, you know?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They talk about the difference between demon and human culture, and it's spot on with the failures of many human cultures, particularly in the United States right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so she goes into this room, and once again, still, even after being terrified by her, legitimately, he's laying there on his back with his arms spread wide.
He's ready.
And she walks up to him, and she sees that there's like a letter on the bed.
Oh, that's right. It was so cute. Oh my God,
It's
the
addressed to
letter.
her.
Oh.
It's the best. And so he's written this whole letter, and it's just as rambly as she is. And like in the letter, he apologizes for being rambly, and she's like, actually, that's incredibly charming, and I feel very seen.
Yes. And it's like a handwritten ramble, which I love.
Yes. Yeah. But he's like, hey, this is weird, huh? Like, I don't know if you're real or if it's a bad reaction to my new meds, but like, I'm taking a shot with this letter. And he says, like, I'm so curious about you. And so even if you have to scare me or whatever, I'm just wondering if you might be open to talking a little bit before you do the big scare stuff. And if not, that's totally fine. But just know that it's something that I would enjoy. And that's pretty much it. And it ends with, I'd love to talk to you, Gemma, if that's okay. Sincerely, Caleb.
Yes. It's so sweet because it's like, again, like with, like, it's like interesting looking at like sex and fear, like how maybe it's the same thing. Because it's like, it's important to talk before sex, and it's important to communicate before scares, you know?
No,
and it's
absolutely.
just like really interesting when you're putting your body in a vulnerable situation.
Yes.
I don't know, it just like blew my mind a little bit.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, and so this is another part that it took till like the second read through to really hit me with the significance of it. But as she's reading this letter, she reads it like 3 times because she can't believe it, you know? Yeah. And so he like moves a little bit and she goes, how long have you been awake?
Oh,
he's like,
that's
well,
right.
Since you came through the door, but his eyes are still closed. And then they proceed to have the rest of this conversation with his eyes still closed. And that was really important to her. Like it's like on an innate level, he understands what she needs to feel more comfortable, you know?
Yes, yeah. And it was just like, I always love reading moments where one character is pretending to be asleep and another character is like, I can hear you thinking. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just like, it was such a great moment. And it was just so cute. It was so cute.
It was so cute. Yeah. And so he's like, well, how do you feel about the whole talking situation? And she's like, well, I'm not supposed to. He's like, I don't know what that means. And she's thinking, again, it's that rule-breaking thing, right? I don't break rules. I just can't follow them. And there is a difference.
Yes.
I want to fit in.
Exactly. And this is like her third time. Like this is her last strike, whatever the baseball
Totally.
metaphor is. I don't even know. But yes,
Yeah.
so she has a lot on the line.
Yeah. And so in this conversation, she explains to him pretty much everything. She's like, we feed off of emotions, but that doesn't hurt you because like there's no end to these emotions inside you. Bottomless pit of emotions. And then she explains like, I've never fit in. And she explains it's my last chance, like I need to be able to feed myself and he's like, she's like, well, I'm probably going to get disappeared if not. And he's like, well, then this is when he opens his eyes. He's like, failure is not an option.
Again, so sexy.
What do we have to do?
So sexy. You are going to scare me whether you like it or not.
Exactly. And she's like, why are you trying to help me? I terrified you last night. And he's like, well, I mean, yeah, but I like you overall. I want to help you. It doesn't matter if it's anything. And he's like, okay, well, if you don't want to scare me, then what else can you eat? And she can feel him like he blushes and he starts obviously thinking sexy thoughts because she can like taste his lust on the air. And she's like, well, I mean, lust is one of them. Like, you know that. And he's like, I mean, no shortage of that over here either. But he's so focused on making sure that she's not like backed into a corner and being forced to eat his lust. He's like, is there anything else? Like, let's really work through the options. And she's like, wait, shouldn't you care about you, though? Like, why are you worried about my ability to consent? You should be worried about your ability to consent. And it is the hottest, sexiest, cutest thing.
It's
he's
so
like,
cute. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and he's like, Gemma, okay, let's get something clear right now. It's not going to be on my end that we're worried about the consent. All right. I am so down. I just don't want you to feel pressured.
Right. And I actually like really appreciated that moment because like I'm kind of learning like, oh, like consent needs to not be a one-sided conversation when you're with a heterosexual male who like
totally.
We all have this narrative like, oh, they're ready to fuck at any time,
Right.
And it's like, no, like
not true.
It's not true. And it was just like a really nice moment of like, this is about us. If we're doing this, it's about us and we both need to have a say. And like, so it was nice to have that moment in that scene.
Yeah. It was nice to acknowledge that he needed to be enthusiastically consenting.
Exactly.
And it was also really nice to think about the nuance between like, do you want to have sex or are you having sex with me because you are hungry?
Right. Yeah.
And those are two totally different things for him as well.
Because like they don't like what like if you're gonna feel used at all, like then it can't happen. And you really got that sense of safety with their conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's like, well, I also like I don't like the taste of fear. And he's like, you don't like my fear? And he's like a little bit upset about it. And she's like, no, I don't like any fear at all. Like overall, I don't like it. Like yours is
it's like just
pretty good though.
It's like it's not liking tomatoes. You know what I mean? It's just like I loved it. It's just like there's a certain food. It's a texture. Like I don't like the mouthfeel of fear. And it's like that. Yes, I get it.
I love it. Yeah. And so she's like, okay, well, how do we start this? Oh, he says, okay, how do we start? And then she says, well, I guess we can start by me sitting on your chest.
Yes.
And she goes to get up and he's like, whoa, wait. And I felt so seen in this moment because he puts up one tiny thing and she's like, you're right, I should go. No, I shouldn't be here.
Yes.
You're totally right. Terrible idea.
She's so humiliated, so hard on herself. And just like, honestly, like a people pleaser or in this case, a demon pleaser. And you kind of see the like implications of her people pleasing kind of thing. And you're like, yeah, I relate. Oh my God.
No, I totally get it. Absolutely. Any hesitation is a rejection.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But he grabs her wrist and he's like, no. I just want to like talk some more first, if that's okay. She's like, I mean, but you find me hot. Like, why do you want to talk? And he's like, yeah, I'm clearly into it. Very into it. But he says, I'm a bit of a romantic and I like to know who I'm having sex with a bit more. Yes. So I just want to keep talking to you. And they end up talking all night.
It was amazing. It was so amazing. And as someone who's like a big hornball like myself, I was like, I love this. I absolutely love this.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, and I don't know. I loved it because, again, the commentary. She is like, what do you do? And he says, I'm a pediatrician. And she's
that's
blown
when he says
away.
It. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But she's blown away because she's like, oh my God, like child minding positions or child caring positions or anything regarding demon children are the highest, most sought after roles. And you have to be like really powerful and good to like get those, you know? Meanwhile, we're paying our teachers $30,000 a year. It's fine.
Right.
Nobody,
Yeah.
It's fine. And he basically says that later on. He's like, okay, so nobody's hungry. Everyone has health care and you care about the the young and the super old. And she's like, our elders are our most powerful ones. Of course we do.
Yes.
Just like,
and
God damn it.
Loved those moments so much. I don't know if you're watching The Pit right now, but they even kind of like bring in elements of like what's wrong with our healthcare system, you know? And I guess maybe just that kind of in the forefront of my brain is like, yeah, like we really are living in shit time. Like, what does it say about us when it's like demon society is better than human society? I'm sure it always has been, but you know, it was just like really for such a like, this is what blows my mind about these short stories. For such a short story that is so high concept, to just like bring that in there, I'm like, it's just so brilliant to me.
Yeah, she packs so much in here and it feels effortless, you know?
Yes.
It's all
it doesn't
woven
feel
in.
like shoehorned. It was just like,
none of it feels preachy. None of it. It's so good.
It honestly, like, it felt like, again, I was writing down and I was like, this is like the Matrix of romance short stories. I wrote that down at one point. And then, like, there is something, like, very, like, revolutionary about it of, like, this, if this were done in, like, the 1800s and this was, like, a play, like, this would be, like, Waiting for Godot in a way. You know what I mean? Of just, like, it means something beyond what it is, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, this is fantastic writing. Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah. So then they're starting to get into like more sexy topics because he realizes that like the sun's going to come up, her portal's going to close. They really need to like kind of wrap it up.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I need to know how old you are. I hope you understand.
Yes. Oh my God. And you know, it was so funny. My thought was like, well, I thought that he didn't mind that she was old. And like, that goes to show how old I am of like, are you asking her if she's middle-aged? Because it's so offensive. And then I realized, oh, okay, I'm an old person.
Yeah, he wants to make sure he's not a perv.
Exactly.
And that she's legal. And she's like, yes, I am well into my adulthood. I reached my majority 20 years ago. Like, we're good. And then he's like, okay, and now we need to talk about getting pregnant and STDs. And she's like, oh, well, that's perfect because since demons are shapeshifters, I would have to create the anatomy in order to produce reproductive components in order to get pregnant.
Yes.
So like, I just won't make any ovaries. There won't be a uterus in there and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then her magic bars her from all of the either getting or transmitting any STDs.
Yes.
Yeah. I loved that.
Revolutionary moment again of just like this small kind of moment showing that like what your like parts are doesn't define gender, you know, like, and what a powerful moment. Like, there's this book, Come As You Are, which like everyone has read it. And I'm on the bandwagon of this has changed my life. And the fact that it's like, we all have the same cells. They're just in a different place, you know?
Yes.
And like, and her, you know, being like, okay, we all have the same thing. I'll just make a vagina, you know, or a vulva. I should be accurate. It was just like, it was so good. And it was like, why? It was another one of like, man, demon culture, they're so evolved. We have so much. Humans are the real monsters. We're the real monsters.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah. Yeah, so they start kissing and then they're getting hot and heavy. And she asks him, like, do you have any preference on anatomy? And he's like, no, I like all beings. I just like the people.
Yeah.
And so whatever you prefer, I'm fine with. And so she's like, oh, you know, I guess the easiest go-to is the vulva and vagina. And she's like, and the all-powerful clitoris.
Yes, thank you.
Very
They
important in demon school.
Yes, which is because, like, I don't know about you, but I didn't know what a clitoris was until I was like 20 years old, you know,
Okay,
and
yeah.
just like that was not covered in sex ed.
Sure.
I believed it was a myth.
Sure.
Or I'm just like, what is what?
Yeah.
I'm like, what are these people talking about? I'm so confused, and so yeah, so it was just very funny that they were like emphasizing it of like. Another, like, it was just this other thing of looking at, like, how we're taught about sex and how we're taught about, like, gynecological parts. So, yeah, it was great.
Absolutely. And I loved that she knows about it from the other side. Like, it's her education system is for lust demons that need to make sure to pleasure anybody who has a clitoris. And so that's why she knows about it. That's why it's important. And that's why she's going to make it happen.
we need demon sex education in this world.
Truly.
In reality. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then she's like, do you want to revisit the topic of maybe me sitting on your chest? And he's like, oh, boy, howdy. Yeah, I do. He starts slithering down on the bed as she's like crouched over him, but he keeps going, y'all.
Keeps going down.
Keeps going. And it says that he gives the sweetest kiss to her core or whatever, you know, and she feels so like cherished. And that's the other thing that's happening throughout this encounter is that she tastes the lust, absolutely, but there's also this other like undercurrent in his emotions that's like even more delicious and satisfying and like makes her feel warm and fuzzy inside. And she doesn't know what it is, but she knows she likes it. She knows she wants more. He
is fully present and like wants to please her. He is pleased by pleasing her. I did kind of like the old like folklore of like the nightmare of like the woman like and I was like, oh, that's so interesting, like making like that image, but like it's like, what if this were
making
in a
it
horror
hot
movie, making it hot? And I'm like,
yeah.
She would sit on his face in the erotic version of a nightmare, you know?
Hell
so,
yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's so good. And then, oh my gosh, he says, I'm not done yet. And then she thinks, I'm not done either. Even as the aftershocks of my orgasm alight in faint waves, I'm greedy for more. I want to taste you too. And then Caleb, like, goes completely still and like closes his eyes and like focuses and he's like, Gemma, you can't say shit like that right now. I want to last. Like,
yes,
I want you too desperately.
That was
and then
such a good part.
69. She's like, oh, that's silly of you.
Yes, I loved it.
Let's do both at the same time.
Exactly. Like, of course, monster 69ing. Like, I mean, like,
yes.
we don't get enough 69ing in romance, in my humble opinion, which I get. But it was such a great moment. Again, it was a checking in, even though he was doing it as like he was joking and he was like, I'm so horny, blah blah blah. But it was just like a thing of like, this is where I'm at now. Just letting you know, I'm gonna say it in a very goofy way, though.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah.
Oh, he's very charming. And so they both end up coming and then they're snuggling after. And he's like, all right, well, give me a few minutes and I'll show you just how good I thought everything was, basically.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. And then he says, Gemma, you're going to kill me, because she's like rubbing up on his dick. And she says, I hope not. I like you. His arms tighten around me. I like you too.
Oh, I love that moment.
Says, it feels dangerous in an entirely different way than kissing him did. Because she knows she's breaking the rules.
Yes,
she knows she's technically doing a bad.
She is doing the thing that she has been ashamed and scolded for, but she is going for it. And it's a scare. You feel that, like, scariness, like the vulnerability of that moment. Yeah.
Yeah. And the juxtaposition of that fear with the fact that she is actually full for the first time in her life.
Yes.
Like, she is full to bursting. She's absolutely satiated. And that's a new experience.
Yeah, she just had the best meal of her life. Like, this is
and it tasted good.
Yeah, and it was suited towards her. It was her. Every single seasoning was her favorite.
Yeah, it's so good. At one point in the book, she says, like, I feel really comfortable around him because I know that I don't need to be anyone else. I just need to be me. And then the care he takes with me in this moment, how quickly he adjusts to increase my pleasure, the perfect anguish of being joined with someone who seems to see me, imperfect in every way, and yet someone to be valued, to be desired, to be liked.
Oh, it was such a beautiful moment because I do think that like people like when they do feel maybe like different, the term monster does get thrown around, you know, of just like, oh God, I feel like this monster. I feel like this out of control thing. And it was just so empowering to me to kind of just like see this visual of an actual monster being cherished. It was just so great. So thank you.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say is thank you, Katee Robert, for that. I needed it.
Hey, Katee, thank you. Once again, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, but then shit goes sideways.
Okay. Yes, then there's the, yes. Mm-hmm.
It's not great. He tenses up and she's like, she can feel his fear. And she's like, what is happening? And he says, there are 2 giant eyes in my closet.
Horrifying moment. Horrifying moment. Yes.
I hate it. Thank you so much. I hate it.
Yeah.
And so she gets up and she's like, sort of like putting her dress back on because it's the first time she's like worn a dress.
Yeah.
So
she was like, I think humans like that. Yeah, that was great.
And she's like, this was so good, but I have to go. And he's like, wait, Gemma. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I have to go. And then she looks over her shoulder and she says, goodbye, Caleb. And then leaves.
That moment ripped my heart out. Like because you know how like in some books you're like, okay, they're going to see each other again in this moment, whatever. But I guess maybe since like we're like, I didn't know where this was going.
No.
Like, that was a heart ripping out of my chest being stabbed moment. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah. And so she goes through and Ralph, he's like, what did you do? And she's like, nothing. I ate. That's what I did. And he's like, wait, no. And he smells her and she's like, I fed off of his lust.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you fed off of way more than that. You fed off of his fondness and his caring. And like, that's something that'll get you disappeared. So like, we need to regroup. You need to go cloister yourself in your room so nobody finds out about this. I'll switch humans with you so that, you know, you can do. And then she thinks to herself, no, but he was so scared of Ralph's form. I don't
care about herself.
That.
She cares about him. And I'm like, oh my God, that's her first thought. They have to be together.
And so she's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want to do that. I don't care what the consequences are. And Ralph is like, okay, well, I'm going to miss you. She's like, what the fuck does that mean? But he walks her over to this other random portal and just unceremoniously pushes her through.
Yeah.
So she lands like on the ground and she's like huddled and she's ready for like whatever to hit her or shred her or do whatever. But it's just like a person standing there being like, hey, you want to get up off the ground now?
She's just in like what feels like a very like benign waiting room. Like, you know, it's like you think you're going to open the door to like hell or whatever. And then it's just like a nurse's or like, you know, a doctor's office.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is when we find out that angels and demons are 2 sides of the same coin.
Yes.
They just interact with humans differently.
Yeah, there's no good, no evil. It's just different. Yeah.
And so she has thought like, oh my God, they disappear. What happens to them? Turns out they just move in with the angels.
Yes.
Because they gravitate toward those emotions instead of the demonic emotions. Yeah, so she finds out all of this and she's like, wait, hold on a second. I'm an angel now? And the helper's like, it's a tiny bit more complicated than that, but like essentially, yeah. So get rid of the horns, get rid of the hooves. Everything else seems fine. Like you have the right amount of eyeballs and appendages.
Yeah.
It says. Let's review, everybody. Angels are notoriously horrifying with so many eyeballs.
I mean, it's just like the 3 eyeball, you know, the 3 eyeballed angel myth, like.
Or the like 12 eyeballed angel.
Yeah.
It's so much. Anyway, she's got the right amount of those. Humans are going to react fine. And then the helper is like, okay, well, we'll get you settled in. And then once you're ready, once we like really debrief you and get you all set, then you can go see, looks down at the pad and she's like, Caleb Sullivan or whatever. And she's like, wait, I get to see Caleb again? And the helper's like, yeah. I mean, that's the whole deal, right? Is that demons, she's very condescending. And she's like, demons feed off of the lazy emotions. And it takes us longer, and it's better because we have to like really forge a bond with these humans. And we have less humans as a result, you know. We don't have a whole stable of humans that we go scare or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's
judgy.
Like, it's so judgy. It's so funny. And it was like, because like kind of the one-to-one is like, okay, guardian angels, like we develop more of a relationship with you. Like we, you know, get to know you first, all this stuff. And then I also like I kind of want that character to have her own romance now. Because like I kind of like loved how like bureaucratic she was and just like kind of like, she just wanted to get to the next person in line. Like, you know, she's like explaining all these huge things. I love those kinds of moments. And so, yeah, it was great.
Yeah. So they end up. So then the next chapter is basically the end, the epilogue kind of situation. She walks into his kitchen through a portal. Yeah. And he's sitting there with a bowl of cereal. And he's like, oh, my God. And she's like, yeah, I look a little different, but it's me. It's Gemma. And he's like, are you okay? I've been so worried. It's been like a week, this poor man. He watched her say goodbye, Caleb, and then disappear into a fucking abyss. And now a week later...
He had to do a whole week of like work, seeing people, doing all this stuff when this he had that horrifying, that perfect night to a horrifying moment. Yeah. Poor guy.
I don't know how he survived. I don't know that I would have. Yeah. And so they decide, like, she tells him everything. And then he's like, okay, well, I've got the day off. So, and she goes, oh, does that mean, oh, I'm so sorry. Do you have plans? Should I leave and come back later? And he's like, no, I want you to come with me.
On a date.
And she's like, oh my God, in public? It is very exciting. So yeah, they end up like going out together and he says, where do you want to go? And she says, everywhere.
Oh, it was so sweet. This was the cutest love story, like that. It just like warm, fuzzy, adorable, sweet, cute love story, and it was about a sleep demon. I mean, come on, like brilliant, so brilliant,
so good. Yeah. All right. It's time for Lady Loves now. So, Becky, your love of that bureaucratic character made me think of a book I think you're going to really like, and a series, actually. So, if you haven't read it yet, my Lady Love is The Grim Reaper's Lawyer by Mia Monique. Have you read that?
No, that's next on my TBR list.
So good. Hard recommend.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's so good. And, like, I think there's at least 2 books in the series. But, yeah, she takes her lawyer skills to hell, and she ends up being the Grim Reaper's lawyer, and the Grim Reaper is very sexy.
I love it. Oh, my God. Ooh. That is amazing. Oh, my God. Okay. What I've been loving lately is giant erotica, and just, like, kind of... figuring it's kind of been blowing my mind a little bit. And Sarah Ivy Hill has this like, it's like the Ice Giants series. She writes the most bonkers romance, you know, interspecies, like demon alien romance, you know, because your first thought is like, okay, well, how do they bone, you know, like what's like, how do they, but you know, they find a way, and it's very clever. They always find a way. And it kind of just like, she's been blowing my mind recently in terms of like just like how bonkers the monster is. So if you're like, what giant romance, just read Sarah Ivy Hill. It's great.
I love it. Sabrina just told me about, she's been telling me about the Sea Sand Planet, those books. Have you read those by Ursa Dax? Okay, if you ever pick them up, you're going to love the Lizard Boy books.
Okay, yes.
Because they're like 15 feet tall or something ridiculous.
I love it.
Like, there's a special thing they have to use in order to make the vulva open enough. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's fascinating.
Serious business. Yeah.
I love it.
Check that out.
And like, it's just these workarounds. I'm loving monster workarounds. It's communication.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh.
Where can the people find you?
Okay, so my podcast is called Too Stupid to Live. It is on all of the social medias at TSTL Podcast. You can get episodes wherever you listen to your podcast. You can also follow me on Substack, tstlpodcast.substack.com. And it is such a joy to be here. Oh my God. It means the world that you reached out. And so,
having you. I'm so glad we could make this happen. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And HB's, you have to go listen to her podcast. When does it come out this week?
My podcast is out today, and then I usually put out new episodes like every other Wednesday.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
So you can look forward to Ruby Dixon's book on Wednesday at the TSTL podcast.
Ooh. It's going to be great.
Thank you for listening. Next week, we'll be back with part 1 of Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Yeah, we liked it so much, it's gonna be a 2-week event. I'm not sorry. And the second book, Mate, also murdered me right in the face. And so that'll probably be on Patreon one of those weeks. All right, see you then. Heaving Bosoms is produced by us, Melody Carlisle and Sabrina Bradley. Editing is done by me, Melody Carlisle. Our theme music is by the incredible singer-songwriter Brittany Fonts, and our art is by the ultra-talented author Kate Pryor. If you like our show, remember to follow us on your favorite podcast app, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. That one small action is a huge way to help the show. If you want to get in touch with us for advertising inquiries or anything else, you can email us at heavingbosomspodcast@gmail.com. If you want more of us, visit patreon.com/heavingbosomspodcast. You can also find us on Instagram at Heaving Bosoms, on TikTok at Heaving_Bosoms, and in our Facebook group, the Heaving Bosoms Geriatric Friendship Cult.